Listening to An Interview with Barbara Ehrenreich. Listen for main ideas. Page 72.
So, Barbara, welcome to Life and Times. It's great to have you here.
Great to be here, Jack. Thanks for inviting me.
Now, you're famous as a journalist, and of course, you've written several books based on your research. We'll get to those in a minute, but could you start by telling our listeners some of the reasons why you go undercover for your research?
Sure. Well, interviews are fine, but sometimes you need to experience something firsthand to understand it. So I guess what I'm saying is that being an undercover reporter is a good way to find out what's really going on. By putting yourself in the situation you're investigating, you can then write about your experience from a more informed point of view.
I see. So, for Nickel and Dimed, where did you go undercover?
Well, the aim was to see if I could support myself in low-paid jobs. So I worked as a waitress, a hotel housekeeper, a maid, a nursing home assistant, and a supermarket clerk. I spent a month in each job, working in Florida, Maine, and Minnesota.
Wow, that's a lot of different jobs and places. I guess your life changed completely during that period, right?
It sure did. And boy, I learned a lot. It was amazing.
Really? What exactly did you find out?
Well, first, that it was very difficult indeed to cope, financially on such low wages. The rents were very high and the wages were so low. These people really struggle. Also, you have to be a hard worker. I mean, some of the jobs I was doing left me feeling physically exhausted, especially when I had to work 2 jobs in a day. Interviewing people is one thing, but actually doing the job day to day shows you exactly how hard these people's lives are.
And of course, Nickel and Dimed went on to be a very popular book. It was a New York Times bestseller.
Yes, I was really surprised at all the interest. I think it really opened people's eyes, a first-hand account like that. People in low-paid jobs like those aren't lazy. They work long, hard hours just to survive.
Did you change your name when you went undercover?
For Nickel and Dimed, I didn't change my name, but I did for my next project, Bait and Switch. I wanted to see how easy it was for people with pretty good jobs who became unemployed to find another job at the same level. So I went undercover as a white-collar public relations executive looking for work. I tried really hard with a great resume that told everyone that I had lots of experience and all that, but I couldn't find any work. It really highlighted to me how hard life can be for people at all levels, from unskilled manual workers to white-collar management.
So I guess in both cases, for Nickel and Dimed and Bait and Switch, you were pleased that the changes you made weren't permanent? I mean, you didn't ever want to carry on in one of those jobs.
No way. I just got a brief look at people's lives there, and by the time I finished, I realized how lucky I was. I was so relieved not to be in that kind of situation long term.
Well, listeners, we're going to take a short break, but if you have a question for Barbara, now's the time. So get on the phone and call. We've got